One of the biggest movies of the year so far is Kung Fu Panda 3, that is. The latest offering is the wildly popular franchise. This one has a unique twist, though, and that is being highlighted by the Chinese embassy here in Washington, D.C. CCTV's Roee Ruttenberg explains.
It was a private screening for a film that's captivated the public on both sides of the Pacific. The third installment in the Kung Fu Panda animation series, and the first film ever to be released simultaneously in the US and in China, in English.
I'm looking for my son.
And in Mandarin.
我叫李山.
You lost your son?
Yes.
你找不到儿子了?
是.
The film has already proved a box office hit in both countries. The story centers around Po, a Chinese giant panda who at long last is reunited with his father and taken to a panda village, which he must train to defend itself by teaching the pandas to be themselves.
We did our very best with research, trying to make this as true to Chinese culture as possible, and to show the beauty and the gorgeousness of the art and the nature and the architecture and everything.
I am totally ready for this.
You're not thinking straight.
I am thinking straight.
You're not.
To do so, the U.S. team partnered with a Chinese studio and some 200 Chinese artists, and collectively humanized a panda for both cultures.
There's something about the eyes that make them look childlike and make their eyes really big, and we just sort of start to relate that to our own little baby humans, and we have that kind of emotional connection to them.
The screening was part of Panda Night at the Chinese Embassy in Washington. The event, celebrating the Spring Festival, was also meant to raise awareness for giant pandas.
Those animals represent real wildlife, and it's okay to love those wildlife because your love will save this world. Thank you.
He hopes the film's success can help drive a new generation to preserve and protect the pandas globally.
The film's creative team admits that the film was meant to entertain people of all ages, children and adults. But Chinese officials say because the film bridges a cultural gap between the US and China, it also plays a role in cultural diplomacy.
Beijing's top envoy to Washington and the event's host said such films can create a better understanding of China in the US.
The panda is a national treasure of China. And of course, it reflects some of the Chinese cultural values. For instance, the real essence, the highest value, the virtue of Kung Fu is not to fight, but to stop fighting.
A message that easily translates from animation to real life in any language. Roee Ruttenberg, CCTV in Washington.